The price of Championship players is skyrocketing, no doubt in conjunction with Premier League inflation. Remember the good old days where football in England's second tier meant maxing out on loanees from Arsenal, buying a 35-year-old veteran to sturdy the defence and taking all summer just to find one unheard of bargain. At least that's how I used to play Football Manager. Nowadays most Championship coupes come in double figures. In fact, all of the top 12 Championship transfer fees stretch from £10 million to a jaw-dropping 16. Join us on the journey, starting at number 9. Having cost Middlesbrough £10.7 million, it's Jordan Rhodes. Rhodes made the big money move from Blackburn Rovers after scoring countless Championship goals over a 4-year period. It seemed to just grind to a halt at the Riverside, mind. Rhodes notched 6 as Borough gained promotion to the Premier League before he was pretty much frozen out of the squad. Now on loan at Sheffield Wednesday, let's hope the 27-year-old can rekindle some form. Number 8, it's a move that caught many off guard, with Matt Ritchie joining the then relegated Newcastle from Bournemouth at a cost of £10.8 million. For the Cherries, it was a good piece of business, having originally brought Ritchie in for little over 400,000k. It was only a brief step down for Ritchie, and as one of Newcastle's standout performers so far this season, he must be feeling pretty smitten with the transfer. Staying at St James's Park, it's Dwight Gayle. Despite a ripe age of 26, Dwight has already become something of a Championship specialist, firing home for Peterborough United and joining Newcastle to do one job: score enough goals so they get promoted. Dwight did that with ease, and his delightful 23 finishes were well worth the £10.8 million fee paid to Crystal Palace. But manager Rafa Benitez did try to flog him off on deadline day. Perhaps Dwight will find himself back in the Championship sooner than later. 6, and costing £11.1 million, it's Andre Gray. Gray made the move to Burnley from Brentford in 2015, scoring 25 goals that season and helping his side to a 93 points haul as they finished at the very top of the table. Goals are simply invaluable at Championship level, and Gray's immediate impact proved a worthy investment. I mean, Burnley now look like they've secured their place as a regular EPL side. Gray's not there, mind. He switched over to Watford. Sting. At 5, we're on our way to Villa Park, but which one of their Championship megastars could it be? Cue sniggering at the wage bills of John Terry and Mika Richards. Anyway, it's Jonathan Kodjia. Again, another forward. Kodjia signed for Aston Villa last season for £11.6 million. Having proved his mettle at Bristol City, hitting 18 goals in his debut season, Villa knew the man they needed to fire them back into the Premier League, having just suffered relegation. Unfortunately, it wasn't to be, the Villains finishing in mid-table. Not that it's Kodjia's fault, the bloke scored 19, about time the rest of them pulled them socks up, eh? 4, the most consistent Championship scorer in history, Ross McCormick. The Scottish international has been doing bits in the Championship since 2008, with stints at Cardiff City, Leeds United, Fulham and now Aston Villa, although he's actually on loan at Nottingham Forest. McCormick has scored more goals at this level than anyone else, including the likes of Kevin Phillips and David Nugent. In hindsight, it's probably something Bruce regrets. McCormick failed to continue his brilliant Championship record before falling out with Bruce over fitness issues. Reports say McCormick failed to turn up for training because the electric gate to his house wasn't working. Bruce hopped in a taxi, skipped over that faulty fence and had it out with McCormick in a big bust up. Oh dear. Number 3, Wolverhampton Wanderers. Let's just go with Wolves from now, yeah? Wolves have been making some swashbuckling transfer sweeps over the past 2 seasons. 2 of their players occupy this top 3 section, so let's start at 3 with left winger Helder Costa. The 23-year-old wide man signed for his Midlands club for £13.5 million little over 8 months ago, coincidentally breaking Wolves' transfer record. It wasn't a huge gamble, mind, with Costa completing a season-long loan with Wolves before then making the move permanent from Benfica. Try before you buy if you like, Wolves certainly liked. Next up we have Brit Assombalonga, who signed for Middlesbrough this summer, making the switch from Nottingham Forest for £15.3 million. Yikes. Assombalonga has been an instant hit, however, notching 4 goals in 6 appearances and already adding to his growing Championship tally. Isn't that what we all like to see? Looking at what's happened to McCormick, proven and reliable Championship scorers are becoming more of a rarity. With Assombalonga though, Borough know exactly what they're going to get, and at 24 years old, there's no doubt he wants to be playing Premier League football in the near future. Number 1, and taking the top spot thanks to a hefty transfer fee of £16.1 million, is Wolves' 20-year-old defensive midfielder Ruben Neves. £16 million on a Championship midfielder. how times have changed. The league's record transfer signing brings bags of experience to the Championship, having ran out for Portuguese powerhouse FC Porto on over 50 separate occasions. He made his league debut at just 17 years old, going on to become the club's youngest ever league scorer. Also, he is the youngest Portuguese player to turn out in the Champions League and the youngest ever captain in the Champions League, eclipsing Rafael van der Vaart's record that had stood for 14 years. Okay, so it looks like money well spent. What the hell is he doing in the Championship? Neves played under Wolves boss Nuno Espirito Santo during his time at FC Porto, and it looks like the two are dead set on reaching the top. Question is, can they reach the Premier League? We'd love to hear your thoughts, so please comment below and don't forget to like and subscribe. Have a great weekend.